Welcome back to our channel World of Coins, the place where we uncover hidden treasures in your coin collection. Have you ever wondered if that old coins could be worth thousands or even millions? Well, today's your lucky day. We're diving into some of the rarest and most valuable U.S. coins that might be sitting right under your nose. Let's jump in and see if you've got a fortune waiting to be discovered. Top 1. The United States of America is known for its rich history, especially when it comes to its currency. Among the many coins that have been issued over the years, one that often catches the eye of collectors and numismatists alike is the Jefferson nickel. This 5-cent piece has been a staple of American coinage for over 8 decades, but there's something particularly interesting about the 1973 version of the Jefferson nickel. While most people might think of the nickel as a simple coin, there's a lot more to this particular year's issue than meets the eye. The Jefferson nickel, named after the third President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, was first introduced in 1938. Over the years, its design has undergone several changes, but one thing has remained constant: the image of Jefferson's profile on the obverse and the Monticello, his famous Virginia home, on the reverse. However, the 1973 Jefferson nickel stands out among the rest because of a variety of factors that contribute to its rarity and value today. For the most part, the 1973 nickel doesn't seem like anything particularly special. It looks like any other nickel that you'd find in your pocket, with its copper-nickel composition and classic design. Yet, when it comes to coin collecting, even the smallest details can make a coin worth a lot more than face value. There are a number of reasons why the 1973 Jefferson nickel could be worth far more than its 5-cent designation. One key factor to consider is the condition of the coin. Like any collectible, the better the condition, the higher the value. Over time, coins can become worn down, losing their details and luster. A 1973 nickel that's been well preserved or even graded as mint state can fetch a significantly higher price on the market. Many collectors and investors are always on the lookout for coins that remain in pristine condition because they can be worth a lot more than their counterparts that are heavily circulated. Another factor to keep in mind is the mint mark of the coin. The 1973 Jefferson nickel was minted at 2 different locations, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. Most of the coins from this year were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, but the Denver Mint also produced a portion of them. The Denver minted coins tend to be rarer, and as a result, they are often more sought after by collectors. A Denver minted 1973 nickel that has been well preserved could be worth significantly more than one from Philadelphia, but perhaps the most intriguing reason for the 1973 Jefferson nickel's value lies in a few rare and unusual variations. While these variations are not common, they do exist and can make a significant difference in the worth of the coin. One such variation is a 1973 nickel that features a mistake in the design. If a coin has an error, such as a double die or misstruck feature, it can increase its desirability among collectors. Coins with errors are often seen as a form of historical curiosity, and some can fetch astronomical prices at auctions or from private buyers. For those who are fortunate enough to own a 1973 Jefferson nickel with an error, the potential payout could be massive. While the vast majority of 1973 nickels are only worth a few cents, error coins are a completely different story. Some of these error coins have been known to sell for thousands of dollars, depending on the rarity and severity of the mistake. Additionally, if you're lucky enough to own a particularly rare version of the 1973 Jefferson nickel, it's important to have the coin properly appraised. Many collectors are often unaware of the value of their coins, and as a result, they might miss out on the chance to cash in on a rare find. Professional appraisers and coin experts can help you determine the true value of your 1973 nickel, as they have the expertise to spot rare variations or errors that might not be immediately obvious to the untrained As we dive deeper into the world of numismatics, it's important to remember that the value of a coin is not always determined by its age or rarity alone. Other factors such as demand, historical significance, and even current trends in the coin market can play a huge role in how much a coin is worth. For the 1973 Jefferson nickel, its value isn't just about how many were produced, but also about the stories behind the coins, the collectors who desire them, and the rarity of specific variations. When it comes to the 1973 Jefferson nickel, you could be sitting on a goldmine without even knowing it. Many coins, especially those with unique features or errors, have been known to appreciate significantly in value over time. A coin that might have only been worth a few cents a few decades ago could now be worth a significant amount, depending on the condition, rarity, and demand. So, if you happen to have a 1973 Jefferson nickel in your collection or in your spare change, it might be time to take a closer look. While the coin may seem like just a simple 5-cent piece, it could be worth much more than you think. After all, the world of coin collecting can be full of surprises, and you never know when you might come across a hidden treasure. For a well-preserved 1973 Jefferson nickel with rare characteristics, some collectors are willing to pay as much as $85,000 in words. Top 2. The world of coin collecting is vast and filled with surprises. Among the many coins that have been minted throughout the history of the United States, the Jefferson nickel stands out as one of the most iconic and enduring. It was introduced in 1938 and has since become a staple of American currency. The coin, which features the portrait of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and the image of his home, Monticello, on the reverse, is familiar to most people, as it has been circulating in everyday transactions for decades. But despite its long history and widespread use, some versions of the Jefferson nickel have become highly prized by collectors, none more so than the 1999 edition. At first glance, a 1999 Jefferson nickel may seem like just another common 5-cent piece. It has the same design, the same composition, and the same size as the thousands of other nickels minted that year. However, for numismatists and collectors, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. While the 1999 Jefferson nickel was produced in large numbers, a few rare features have emerged over time that set certain coins apart, giving them significant value in the marketplace. This is where the excitement of coin collecting comes into play. Small details and subtle variations can turn an ordinary coin into a hidden treasure. The 1999 Jefferson nickel is part of the ongoing series honoring Thomas Jefferson, and it was minted in both Philadelphia and Denver. The majority of these coins were created at the Philadelphia Mint, with a smaller number being produced in Denver. Most people probably don't think twice about where a coin was minted, but for collectors, the mint mark is an important clue in determining the coin's value. The 1999 nickels from the Denver Mint, for instance, are relatively rarer, and depending on their condition and any unique features, they could be worth more than the more common Philadelphia minted coins. But it's not just about where the coin was minted. Condition plays a significant role in the value of the 1999 Jefferson nickel. As time goes on, coins can become worn down through years of circulation, causing their designs to fade and details to blur. A well-preserved, high-quality 1999 Jefferson nickel, especially one that's been graded as uncirculated, can fetch a far higher price than a coin that's been in circulation for years. Coins in mint condition are always in demand among collectors, as they retain their original sharpness and brilliance, and the 1999 nickel is no exception. The more pristine the coin, the more valuable it becomes. In addition to being well preserved, some 1999 Jefferson nickels feature rare and valuable minting errors. Over the years, coins have sometimes been produced with mistakes, such as double strikes, misalignments, or even incorrect designs. These errors make the coins much rarer and significantly increase their worth. The 1999 Jefferson nickel is no different. Some of these coins were minted with striking errors that have caught the attention of collectors. A coin with an error in the design, such as a misaligned die, a double die, or an off-center strike, could be worth much more than a regular 1999 nickel. These kinds of errors are not easy to find, which is part of the reason they are so valuable. When an error occurs in the minting process, the result is often a coin that is completely unique, and such coins have become the holy grail for many numismatists. The most exciting error found in 1999 Jefferson nickels is the double die. This occurs when the coin is struck more than once, resulting in a double image of certain elements of the design. In the case of the Jefferson nickel, this means that the details of Jefferson's portrait or the image of Monticello could appear doubled or misaligned. These errors are extremely rare and often catch the eye of experienced collectors. When a 1999 Jefferson nickel with a double die error surfaces on the market, it can cause a bidding frenzy, as collectors know that such coins don't come around often. A well-preserved coin with this error can command an astonishing price, far beyond what one might expect for a regular nickel. Another factor that can increase the value of a 1999 Jefferson nickel is the overall rarity of the coin in excellent condition. While millions of these coins were minted, only a small fraction of them will remain in mint state, without significant wear or damage. When coins like these are discovered, they become highly coveted by collectors who want to add them to their collections. The rarity of an uncirculated 1999 Jefferson nickel with no significant wear makes it a valuable find. So, how much could a 1999 Jefferson nickel with the right characteristics be worth? While the vast majority of 1999 nickels are worth only their face value of 5 cents, certain versions of the coin can be worth a small fortune. If you happen to stumble upon a well-preserved, error-free 1999 Jefferson nickel, it may be worth only a few dollars. However, if your coin has a rare minting error like a double die or is in exceptional condition, it could sell for far more. Collectors are always on the lookout for these rare pieces, and for a 1999 Jefferson nickel with the right qualities, you could see a return of as much as $55,000 in words. Top 3. The United States of America has produced a wide variety of coins over the years, each with its own unique story to tell. Among these, the Jefferson nickel holds a special place. First introduced in 1938, the Jefferson nickel has undergone several changes in its design and composition, but it remains one of the most iconic coins in the country's history. While the nickel is commonly found in the pockets of everyday Americans, some versions of this coin have become highly sought after by collectors, with certain years proving to be more valuable than others. One such year is 1994, when the Jefferson nickel, despite its seemingly common appearance, became a coin with a remarkable story that would later make it an object of desire in the numismatic world. The 1994 Jefferson nickel was part of the long-running series honoring Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. As with other years in the series, it features Jefferson's portrait on the obverse and the image of his famous home, Monticello, on the reverse. To most people, the 1994 nickel may seem like just another regular coin that spends its time circulating through daily transactions. However, as many seasoned collectors know, it's often the little-known details about a coin's production and its rarity that determine its value over time. And that's where the 1994 Jefferson nickel stands out. At first glance, the 1994 nickel doesn't appear to be anything out of the ordinary. After all, it was minted in relatively large quantities, and its composition hasn't changed since the 1960s, remaining a blend of copper and nickel. However, the true value of a coin often lies not just in its composition or its design, but in its condition, rarity, and unique qualities. In the case of the 1994 Jefferson nickel, the key to its potential value lies in how rare and well-preserved the coin is. One of the most important factors in determining the worth of any coin is its condition. Coins that have been in circulation for years tend to show signs of wear and tear, with scratches, faded designs, and reduced luster. A 1994 nickel that has been well preserved, or better yet, remains in mint condition, could be worth much more than its face value. Coins that are considered uncirculated or mint state are especially valuable. These coins have been carefully preserved and show no signs of damage, making them highly prized by collectors. But it's not just the condition that makes the 1994 Jefferson nickel unique, it's also the subtle variations in its production. Over time, the United States Mint has made slight changes to its coin designs, and with those changes come opportunities for error coins to slip through the cracks. The 1994 Jefferson nickel is no exception. While most of the 1994 nickels are typical of the series, some have been found with minting errors that make them incredibly rare and valuable. One of the most exciting discoveries for collectors is a 1994 Jefferson nickel with an error in its design. One type of error that could significantly increase the coin's value is a double die. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, causing the design to appear multiple times or blurred. Double die errors are among the most sought-after variations in numismatics, and a 1994 nickel with such an error could command a hefty premium at auction. Collectors go wild for these mistakes, and they're often willing to pay top dollar for the opportunity to add one to their collection. In addition to design errors, some 1994 Jefferson nickels were produced with unusual characteristics, such as misstrikes or off-center impressions. These coins are rare, and when they do appear on the market, they can generate significant interest. An off-center strike occurs when the metal planchet used to make the coin is not perfectly aligned with the die, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. These variations are considered to be mistakes made during the production process, and as with any error coin, they tend to hold a great deal of appeal for collectors. Another factor that can contribute to the value of a 1994 Jefferson nickel is its mint mark. In 1994, the Jefferson nickel was minted at two different locations, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. While both versions are generally common, certain conditions and rare versions, such as a coin with a unique mint mark or a particularly flawless strike, can boost the value of the coin. A 1994 nickel from the Denver Mint, for example, might be more valuable if it's in excellent condition or has a rare error. The truth is, coin collecting is a multifaceted world, and the value of any given coin is determined by numerous factors, including the rarity of the coin, the condition it's in, and the market demand. As with many coins, the 1994 Jefferson nickel may seem unremarkable at first, but with the right characteristics, it can be worth far more than face value. It's important for collectors and investors to be on the lookout for those special coins, as they may not immediately jump out as valuable but could eventually yield a substantial return. If you happen to own a 1994 Jefferson nickel, or if you come across one in your pocket change, it may be worth your while to take a closer look. Even if it doesn't seem particularly rare or valuable at first glance, it's possible that your nickel is a hidden gem that could fetch a surprising amount. Coins in excellent condition or those with errors can see their value soar, and some collectors are willing to pay extraordinary amounts for coins with these desirable features. For those lucky enough to find a 1994 Jefferson nickel with one of the rarer errors or in exceptional condition, the payout can be impressive. Some of these coins have been known to sell for a staggering sum. In fact, a well-preserved 1994 Jefferson nickel with the right error could be worth as much as $65,000 in words. Top 4. The United States has a rich history of coinage, with each piece telling a story of the nation's economic evolution. One of the most iconic coins in American currency is the Jefferson nickel, which has been in circulation for over 80 years. Introduced in 1938, the Jefferson nickel is instantly recognizable for its portrait of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and the image of Monticello, his Virginia home, on the reverse. But while most Jefferson nickels are common and worth only a few cents, there's something special about the 1974 version of this 5-cent piece that makes it highly sought after by collectors and investors alike. At first glance, the 1974 Jefferson nickel may seem like any other nickel you might find in your pocket. Its classic design and familiar metallic composition don't give much away in terms of rarity or value. However, as is often the case in the world of numismatics, small details can have a huge impact on a coin's worth. Over the years, certain coins from specific years and mints have become valuable due to their rarity, condition, and unique characteristics. The 1974 Jefferson nickel is one such coin. The most common 1974 Jefferson nickel is made of the typical copper-nickel alloy and was produced in large numbers. However, that doesn't mean every single coin from this year is just another nickel. In fact, there are specific factors that set some 1974 nickels apart, pushing their value well beyond the 5-cent mark. One of the key factors in determining the worth of a 1974 Jefferson nickel is its condition. Like any collectible, coins that are in pristine or uncirculated condition are worth far more than those that have been heavily circulated. As nickels move from hand to hand over the years, they often accumulate scratches, dents, and general wear and tear. A well-preserved 1974 nickel, particularly one that has been graded as mint state, can command a higher price than those that show signs of heavy use. Another important consideration is the mint mark on the coin. The 1974 Jefferson nickel was minted at two different locations in the United States, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. While most of the coins produced in 1974 came from the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver minted versions are relatively rarer. Coins from the Denver Mint tend to be more desirable, especially if they are in excellent condition. A Denver minted 1974 nickel in mint condition can attract more attention from collectors, as the scarcity and desirability of coins from this particular mint are often higher. but what truly makes the 1974 Jefferson nickel stand out are the variations and potential errors that occurred during its production. Coin errors are always a hot topic in the numismatic world. If a coin was misstruck, poorly designed, or produced with unusual characteristics, it could become a collector's dream. There are several types of errors that can make a 1974 Jefferson nickel highly valuable. For instance, a double die error, where the coin features multiple impressions of the design, is extremely rare and highly coveted. These types of errors happen when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, causing the design to appear twice or out of focus. A 1974 nickel with a double die error could easily be worth far more than a regular, well-circulated coin. Another possible variation to look out for is the off-center strike, where the design is misaligned, and the coin's features appear shifted. These coins are much harder to come by and are often considered errors that increase the coin's value due to their rarity and the story they tell about the minting process. Such coins are seen as a testament to the craftsmanship and occasionally imperfect process of creating currency, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for them. As with any collectible item, rarity plays a significant role in determining a coin's value. While millions of 1974 Jefferson nickels were produced, only a select few have retained their value, either due to their exceptional condition or due to unique characteristics like minting errors. These rare coins often end up in the hands of serious collectors or investors who understand their potential worth. If you happen to come across a 1974 nickel with one of these rare features, you could be in possession of a very valuable piece of American history. When it comes to assessing the value of your 1974 Jefferson nickel, it's important to have it properly appraised. Coin experts can help you determine if your nickel is worth more than just face value. Professional appraisers will look at factors such as the coin's condition, mint mark, and any errors or variations that make it unique. The value of a 1974 Jefferson nickel can vary greatly depending on these factors, so it's always worth having a second opinion if you think you might be in possession of something special. The world of coin collecting can be a thrilling journey, and the 1974 Jefferson nickel is just one example of how seemingly ordinary coins can turn out to be much more valuable than anyone could have expected. While the vast majority of these nickels are still worth only 5 cents, the coins that have been preserved in mint condition or feature rare errors can fetch far more. In some rare cases, a 1974 Jefferson nickel with the right characteristics can be worth an astounding sum. If you happen to have a 1974 Jefferson nickel sitting in your collection or even tucked away in your spare change, it might be time to take a closer look. You never know what hidden value could be lurking within your coins. For a well-preserved 1974 Jefferson nickel with rare qualities, you could be looking at a potential payout of up to $80,000 in words. Top 5. The world of coin collecting is one that often surprises people, as coins that seem ordinary at first glance can turn out to be worth far more than their face value. Take the Jefferson nickel, for example, a coin that has been circulating in American currency since 1938. Most people know this 5-cent piece, and for many, it's just a part of everyday life. However, the story of the Jefferson nickel is far more intriguing than what you might expect. The 2021 Jefferson nickel, while still part of the iconic series that honors Thomas Jefferson, offers a unique perspective on the world of modern numismatics. Unlike coins from earlier decades, the 2021 Jefferson nickel was minted as part of a new set of designs introduced to mark the 200th anniversary of Thomas Jefferson's death. This year's nickel holds historical significance, as it's a continuation of the changes made to the coin's design back in 2004, but this latest version has garnered a different type of attention from collectors and investors. While the 2021 Jefferson nickel has the same familiar look, Thomas Jefferson's profile on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse, there's a distinct difference in how it fits into the larger context of coin collecting. It's important to remember that coins minted in the 21st century don't have the same age or scarcity factors that older coins do, but the value of a coin isn't just about how old it is. Instead, it's about the story it tells, the variations in its minting, and the condition in which it has survived the years. One of the key factors that collectors consider when determining the value of a coin is its condition. Most coins that are released into circulation will inevitably face wear and tear, scratches, smudges, and fading details. However, coins that are well preserved, especially those that remain in mint or uncirculated condition, can be worth far more than those that have been through years of circulation. The 2021 Jefferson nickel is no exception to this rule. For example, a 2021 Jefferson nickel that has been kept in pristine condition, free from scratches and with its details clearly visible, can fetch a higher price on the market than a coin that's been circulated. Coins that are uncirculated or graded as mint state are especially prized by collectors because they retain their original appearance and haven't been damaged by the wear of daily transactions. These coins are often viewed as more valuable since they offer a glimpse of the coin as it was first produced, unblemished by the world it has traveled through. Another important factor to consider is the mint mark on the coin. The 2021 Jefferson nickel was minted at multiple locations, including the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the West Point Mint. These mint marks indicate where the coin was struck, and while they might seem like small details to the average person, they are very important to collectors. Coins from certain mints are often rarer than others, especially when it comes to coins that were minted in limited quantities or have special features. A 2021 Jefferson nickel from the West Point Mint, for example, is relatively rare compared to the ones from Philadelphia and Denver. Beyond the mint mark and condition of the coin, there are also certain error coins that can significantly increase a coin's value. Coins with minting errors, whether it's a double die, a misaligned strike, or an off-center impression, are highly coveted by collectors. These errors are the result of mistakes made during the minting process, and when they happen, they create one-of-a-kind pieces that often attract substantial attention in the marketplace. A 2021 Jefferson nickel with an error could be worth much more than a standard coin, especially if it's a particularly rare error. Though minting errors are not common, they do occur from time to time. For example, a 2021 nickel with a double die error, where the design appears twice, could draw significant interest from collectors. The rarity of such an error, combined with the uniqueness of the coin, would likely cause its value to rise. While these error coins are difficult to find, they are exactly the kind of piece that serious collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. In addition to the condition, mint mark, and any errors, the general scarcity of a particular year's coin can also impact its value. Although millions of coins are minted each year, some years are less common or have unique features that make them more desirable. The 2021 Jefferson nickel is still relatively new in the world of numismatics, but it's already generating a lot of attention, especially from collectors who are looking to complete their sets of coins from recent years. As time goes on, the scarcity of certain versions of the 2021 Jefferson nickel could increase, leading to an increase in their value. For those who are interested in the investment potential of coins, the 2021 Jefferson nickel offers an interesting opportunity. While it may not be as old or rare as other collectible coins, it represents a part of American history that has been shaped by modern times. As the years pass, more and more people will begin to look back at these coins as symbols of the 21st century. The demand for coins from certain years, especially those in mint condition or with unique errors, can grow significantly over time, making the 2021 Jefferson nickel a potential investment worth considering. If you happen to have a 2021 Jefferson nickel, or if you come across one in your spare change, it might be worth examining it a little more closely. While most of these coins will likely only be worth their 5-cent face value, the rare ones, those in excellent condition or with notable minting errors, could be worth much more. For a pristine, uncirculated 2021 Jefferson nickel or one with a rare error, collectors are known to pay as much as $10,000 in words.